it's low key.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Norway Savings Bank Arena in Auburn, Maine for a matchup between your Brunswick Freeport Dragons and the Kings of Poland, Grey New Gloucester, Oak Hill, and Leavitt. I am joined today not by Kaz Kaczynski, instead by Eben White. Eben, we gonna have to step over here. The microphone's just not too long. Eben, how are you feeling about this game?
Great. I mean, Brunswick had a rough go last time we played PLOG, but we stuck with them for 3 periods, so we're looking to do that again today.
Absolutely. That last game was right at the beginning of January, I believe. And that game was tied 4-4 late in the third period, about 5.5 minutes left. And then Nathan Karkos delivered a huge hit on Evan Dorsey that knocked him out of the game and landed himself with a 5-minute major. During that 5-minute major, PLOG would go on to score 3 shorthanded goals and win the game 7-4. So this is a Brunswick team that has proved they can play with the Kings, but this is a very good Kings team. They are sitting at 3rd in Class B South and with a record of 6-3-1. They recently lost to Messalonsky, who is ranked #1 in Class FB North by a score of just 3-2. So this is a very good Kings team that's competed with the best in the state very recently. Tyler Mates will try to get the Kings offense started. Loses the puck back here with Tyler Bowles up ice for Mates. Mates scored 3 goals the last time the Dragons played the Kings. Here is Landry centers it. Bobuff will hit Mates. Definitely the player to watch tonight. Eben is 16 in white. Here's Booker. Will center it to Mates, and a chance here. Shot save made by Michael Shoemaker. Off the shot by Mishu. Shoemaker did not start the game 2 days ago that the Dragons won over Gardner Winslow. That was Colton Sampson in net. And the word is that on Saturday it'll be Ryan Livesey starting against York. So this is Mike's one start of the week with a gauntlet of 3 games. The Dragons mixing up their goaltenders.
Yeah.
Mike's last game was against Gorham, and he played fantastic that game. He gave up 4 goals, but made a whole bunch of highlight reel saves. And now he's back in lineup here in Auburn. The Jeb line will get their first chance of the night. That shot wide. Bowditch racing for it along the boards. Patterson knocks it back towards Boak. Boak will knock Austin to the boards. And a chance here for Evan Dorsey. A 2-on-1 with Bowditch to his right. Dorsey will center it to Bowditch. Fires. Save made by the leg pad of Reed Trapani. Trapani and Logan Rousseau have both played goalie this year for PLOG. The last time the Dragons played PLOG, it was Rousseau in net, but now it is Trapani, the junior. But a golden scoring opportunity early on for the Dragons, Eben.
Yes. Brunswick appears to be looking for the fast break play here, so hopefully they can keep that up the rest of the game.
Was a very nice look by Dorsey to Bowditch. The Dragons have scored in the first period of all 8 of their game. No, wait. No, that's true. Did they score in the first period against Gardner Winslow? No, that broke the streak. There we go. The Dragons scored in the first period of their first 7 games. And then against Gardner Winslow, that's when they did not score. Here's a chance, though, save made by Shoemaker. That was Lombardi who nearly put that one away early. Mishu keeps in the zone. He'll fire, save made by Shoemaker. PLOG has a relatively deep bench. I do believe they skate 3 lines of forwards. And here comes Patterson the other way for the Dragons. Patterson, nice move into the slot. He will be hit. And will look to retrieve the puck. Landry skating after Lombardi. Now Bobuff will put the hit on him. Dragons right away going into their 3rd line of forwards with Landry, Copeland, and Lyons. And here's a chance for them with Landry up the boards as it's stolen by Aldrich. Sampson racing for it. It'll be won by PLOG. But now a chance for Carter Copeland. He takes it through the neutral zone. As it's stolen by a pair of PLOG defenders. And taking up the ice now is Mishu. He'll lose again. Copeland backhands it back into the offensive zone. Chance here for PLOG up ice is knocked back down by Sampson. That would have been an icing, but Sampson was able to get it on net. Lions putting the pressure on will knock the puck towards Landry, but a chance the other way for Dupile. Dupile with Aldrich to his left will backhand it down the middle, stick aside by Shoemaker. Boak looking to clear, puts the hit on Charlie Bowles. Rathbone and Salco and Pittenger back on the ice for Brunswick. Freeport. Eben, you really have not had to use the scoreboard too much yet. Not too many stoppages.
Nah, only one stoppage so far, so makes my job pretty easy here.
Here's Tyler Mates into the zone. Hellfire save made by Shoemaker. Once again, Mates is the leading goal scorer for PLOG. He has 14 goals and 10 assists this season. 12 goals and 10 assists, actually. I was looking at the wrong one there. It is Jackson Booker, his partner in crime, number 8 in white, who I believe assisted 3 of Mates' goals last time the Dragons played. Technically, they gave a 4th goal to Mates that game, but it was Mishu's shot that Mates might have deflected. I credited Mishu with the goal, but of the other 3 that Mates scored, they were all assisted by Jackson Booker. So that dynamic duo, number 8 and number 16 in white respectively, really filling the shoes of last year's dynamic duo for PLOG, who was Brody Mond and Breck Langevin, both seniors who were just absolutely dirty together. I don't know if you ever watched Mond and Langevin play, Eben, but they were something.
No, I haven't seen them play, but I did just see James Salko have a big hit there on the middle of the ice. So Brunswick looks to be out for some contact today.
Patterson knocks it around to Bobuff too far. The puck will run around the entire ice and goes 200 feet. That puck completed an entire half lap of the ice there. PLOG will get the offensive zone face-off. Yet to see Nathan Karkos in the game for PLOG. Maybe he was on for a moment. Number 7 in white, once again, the man who had the massive hit on Evan Dorsey that knocked him out of the game last time, ended up being a major penalty. Duffy knocks it around. Here's Ormberg. Nice play by Sampson to steal the puck. And now Bowditch putting pressure on Duffy. And a chance here with Dorsey. Stolen back by Bowles. Dorsey steals it back for Brunswick Freeport, though, and he'll rim around the back while the Dragon forecheck will go to work with Bowditch putting the hit on. Dorsey also going for the hit on Duffy. Chance, though, for Ormberg, and that will be an offside. Ormberg angry. Eben, I don't think that Cullen Ormberg smacking his stick into the ice is going to reverse the offside. I could be wrong.
No, I don't think that's going to change the ref's mind on their call there. So
we'll get Carter Copeland back at center, and the Dragons skating their 3 lines evenly to start this first period. Could be a credit to the very few stoppages that we've had. Chance for Theo Lyons into the zone. Sees nobody to help him, so he will dump it on net. Save made by Trapani. Second time we've said his name so far. Lyons will keep it in the zone for Brunswick Freeport. Knocks it down to Copeland. He'll fire and score! Carter Copeland, the one-timer, beats Trapani, and it's 1-0. Theo Lyons with the assist.
what a shot from the outside from Carter Copeland there. That was a beautiful look from the boys.
Just a beautiful look from that low wing. Just the one-timer. I don't think Trapani saw it coming. And you could see the official there, Eben. Copeland went right to go celebrate in front of the PLOG student section, and the official said, no, get out of here. Which is, I haven't seen an official do that before in a goal celebration.
I haven't seen that either in hockey, so that's a first for me.
That is Carter Copeland's second career varsity goal. I do know he has, I believe, an aunt and uncle hopefully watching from Houston, Texas, as well as, wrote the names down, Chris and Rich in Massachusetts. Oh, what was the town name?
Carter's a freshman. This is Carter's, I believe, his first season for high school. I don't think he played a fall sport, but he's a freshman, so this is his first official high school season. Crazy.
I believe he was on your soccer team, Evan.
I don't do that.
First varsity.
Yeah, sorry. Just a correction. First varsity season.
Eben White, of course, a star left back for the Dragons boys soccer team.
What season I played right back this season.
Right back, okay. Here's Mates into the zone, centering pass, looking for Booker, and Boak will take it the other way for Brunswick Freeport. Ned Boak into the zone. And guess who? Nathan Karkos is who put the hit on Boak there. Here comes Booker. We'll leave it off to his partner in crime, Mates. Mates will look to fire, as it deflected by Avery Sampson. Mates absorbs the poke check from Rathbone. Booker tried to center it there to Lombardi. And a nice pass by Salco to Rathbone. Will take it himself into the zone, and he will rip down Charlie Bowles in the process. Rathbone said, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me. Charlie, out ice, a chance for Mates, a breakaway, but a great poke check by Avery Sampson to stop that attempt. That's how Mates scored a couple of those goals against Brunswick last time, were those breakaways. So just a great job by Sampson to get back on defense and not let the shot get off from the Kings' leading scorer. That pass awry, looking for Mishu. Trapani will come way out to get it and leaves it off for Mishu. Here's Bowles behind Trapani's net. Will cut back on Palmer, looking up the ice off the boards. Patterson will collect it and fire it to Palmer, who leaves it off for Evan Dorsey. A chance for Dorsey into the zone. High slot, he'll fire, saves Trapani. Could it trickle over? It just bounced right back and centers it to Palmer, who couldn't get the shot off. Palmer will settle it though. Leaves off for Patterson. Will he look to fire? Yes, on net. Saves Trapani. Rebound for Bowditch. Nice poke check from the Kings to stop that Bowditch shot, which was a golden scoring opportunity off the rebound.
Dragons seem to be playing with some intensity here. They're looking for a lot of contact. This might be because of the big hit we saw last time we played PLOG. Who really knows, but it's good to see from the Dragons today.
Definitely. I will say Trapani allowing a lot of rebounds early on here in the first period. Definitely will watch out for that if the Dragons can get some garbage goals. And they're going to call that a trip. I thought that it kind of looked like Aldrich fell on his own, but we're going to have to go to our replay on my MacBook to decide that. You know how to work that power play, of course, Eben. It will be on Tyler Landry, though. Let's see. Is he guilty? Yeah. Yep.
Like
he is guilty. Of course not. It was incidental, but intent does not matter for tripping penalties. So that will be a penalty for Tyler Landry, the sophomore of Freeport. Salco knocked to Rathbone, who had a shorthanded goal last game. Rathbone cuts back on net save made Trapani. And this Dragon penalty kill, Eben, I don't know if you saw the interview from a couple days ago, but it's been money. They went 5 for 5 against the Gardner power play. And it's really just Nat Rathbone and James Salco as the two top men in the box who have just been so money this season. Nat Rathbone scored the game-winning goal against Gardner by knocking it up to himself and taking a breakaway short-handed rush and scoring that game-winning goal late in the third period against Gardner just about 48 hours ago. So this penalty kill has been playing great, and they have not allowed a shot yet 20 seconds into the PLOG power play.
Yeah, it's great to see from Brunswick. Also want to shout out the girls hockey team, who also has been locked down against the power play this year. I think they're 42 for 45 on stopping the power play this year, which is just great to see from the Dragons.
But here comes Tyler Mates into the zone. He will fire, save made by Shoemaker. Turned back over, shot by Bowles is blocked by Boba. Mates will be patient and get the power play set up for PLOG. Here's a shot save. Shoemaker. Bobuff will look to clear. Cannot. Settled back by Mishu. Mishu will survey. Now he fires. Save made and gloved by Michael Shoemaker. Once again back in net after Colton Sampson started against Gardner Winslow on Monday. We do thank you all for joining us here on Brunswick High Sports Network. Robert Bowen and Eben White on the microphone, as well as Eben White running our scoreboard, sponsored by Singer Domingo Portside Real Estate, and of course Brandon Ware on our camera. Patterson will clear it off the glass and goes all the way down the ice. Mishu will collect, pressured by the forecheck of Copeland. Here comes Mates. Mates into the zone, surrounded by Dragons. We'll leave it back for Booker. Booker pressured tightly by Copeland. Mates picks it up in the corner. He'll survey. He has an open man in Landry. Landry back to Mates, open in the high circle. Won't take the shot. Mates will leave it off to Booker. Booker surveys. Caught by Landry. Landry still waiting. Tries to feed inside, and Copeland picks it off, but recollected by Booker. Booker keeps it in the zone. High slot. He'll look to fire, and it's gloved by Shoemaker.
Our penalty kill is really not giving them anything right now. All they've had to work with is a couple outside shots that Michael's just eating them up really easily. So looking great right now.
Just 19 seconds left to kill. Rathbone and Salco back onto that penalty kill. And it looks like the PLOG second power play unit is out there now. Mates and Booker off. Bobuff will be knocked into the boards and fall right in front of that door. And that pass goes awry. Nathan Karkos will collect in the defensive zone, and that will release Tyler Landry, and the Dragon penalty kill is 1 for 1 on the night. That'll be an immediate icing. And we're back to 5-on-5 play. The Dragons will keep out their top line of forwards, or at least first line tonight. I think the argument is definitely to be made that the Jeb line of Dorsey, Palmer, and Bowditch is their best scoring line, but this line's been using the term money a lot tonight, but this line has been money recently. They scored 2 goals against Gardner, Winslow, Salco, and Rathbone, each with 1. And they started the game tonight. Here is Karkos, though. We'll leave it up. Caught. Racing up the ice is Lombardi. Lombardi will center it, and a shot. Save made Shoemaker, and it trickles in. The goal by Hobie Duffy off the great feed by Luke Lombardi is able to beat Shoemaker. I thought Shoemaker got either his stick or his glove on it, but it trickled in.
Yeah, I thought he had that one too. It looked like it popped up in the air, but must have slid right in off the back post or something.
Just great look by Duffy off the feed by Lombardi.
Yeah, great feed there from just behind the red line. So.
Dorsey, Palmer, Bowditch back on for the Dragons, as well as Patterson and Boak on defense. A chance right once again for Duffy. Duffy will take it around, absorbs the poke by Patterson. Duffy up to Lombardi. Lombardi high slot, will look to fire again. It's wide. And centering past Duffy, missed the net wide left. That left side of the net was open. Lombardi centering pass again to Duffy, couldn't get the shot off. Dorsey will look to clear, and the Dragons can't get the puck out of their zone. Just a great bit of offense right now for PLOG. Patterson will look to clear it, and he'll leave it up. Nice pass to Bowditch, and maybe a 3-on-2 here for the Dragons. Bowditch will give it back to Dorsey. Dorsey's open. He'll look to fire and loft it just over the net. Boak will keep it in the zone, though. Knocks it back around. Too hard for Dorsey. Palmer will collect along the way. Duffy will get the turnover, and Patterson puts the big hit on Lombardi, but in the zone comes Ormberg. Ormberg will be also knocked down by both Patterson and Boak as Boak falls over Ormberg. Wow. Bowditch looking for the nice pass up ice, and Dorsey will give it to Palmer. Jamison Palmer entering the zone on his own. Leave it back for Dorsey. Couldn't hit him. And I don't know. Dorsey might have just gotten away with a slash there. That did look like a lacrosse-style check right to the chest of the Kings player. That's kind of what I saw.
Yeah, don't really know what that was, but, you know, better to be lucky than good sometimes, so.
Dorsey knocks it back around to be collected by Charlie Bowles. Wholesale change for Brunswick, and Lions looking to get the turnover. Instead, collected again by Aldrich. Both teams skating 3 forwards. 3 forward lines, I do mean. This third line for PLOG is Leighton Mishu, as well as Mason Aldrich and Bradley Dupile. So maybe attrition will not have as big of an effect as it usually does with both teams having deeper benches tonight, especially the Dragons' third line is who scored their lone goal so far by Carter Copeland from Theo Lyons. Here's a play for Mates, turns around save made by Shoemaker. Sampson lost his stick, and he's pressured by Booker. Falling down is Lyons at the other side of the play. Centering pass caught by Karkos. He'll fire, saves Shoemaker, but it trickles in once again. 2-1 Kings.
Brunswick really needs to watch those bottom-up feeds. PLOG is looking for it, and that's why that's where they're finding all their glory today. So that was another one from back below the net that came up for a good shot from the top.
Nathan Karkos, who, do I need to say it one more time where he was the last time he played against the Dragons? The answer is he was in the penalty box. I believe he did get a 5 and 10 for that hit on Dorsey, but he puts one in the back of the net to put PLOG back on top. I believe this is how the last game went as well. I think Brunswick scored the first goal in that one, and then PLOG scored 2. And I want to say it was then Sam Jansen's second. Sam Jansen scored the second goal for the Dragons that tied the game at 2 in that one. That was his first career goal. That was a beauty. Maybe we need some Sam Jansen magic once again. Boak with a big collision along the boards, and it's turned over to Nat Rathbone. Rathbone leaves it up for Salko. Kittinger will poke it up ice. Landry collects for PLOG, and will be hit by Boak into the Dragon bench. That'll be an offside.
We're really seeing big hitter Boak here to play today.
Big hitter Boak, some call him Poke Check Boak. His 2 signature moves. PLOG with their second line of forwards out there. Patterson will collect the puck for the Dragons, and he'll go to work. He will be knocked down by Carter Austin. And here comes PLOG the other way, entering the offensive zone. Getting around Patterson is Mishu. Mishu will backhand it centering. Salko knocks it out of harm's way. Patterson chops at it, but it's collected by Ormberg. Here is Duffy, who just had the goal for PLOG. Their first one, at least. Kittinger leaves it up for Salko. Can he win the race to that puck? No. Austin will pass backward to Mishu. Off the boards, Patterson will get it back for the Dragons, only for the moment. And a chance the other way for Duffy as the Dragons get a change. Duffy into the zone, will get underneath, save Shoemaker, rebound, knocked out of the slot by Bowditch. Behind the net, up top, will be caught by Austin. Back along the wing with Lombardi. Bobuff will give it up, and a chance for Nat Rathbone. A breakaway that he just scored on against Gardner Winslow. Rathbone again, forehand, backhand, save, rebound, score! Nat Rathbone ties it at 2. He needed the mulligan, but the Brunswick golf player nets it.
What a fast break there from Nat. Great, I think that was a poke check from Booth to get the puck up the ice, but great finish from Nat there.
Trapani made the initial save just like Shoemaker has. Shoemaker has made those 2 saves, but the puck then trickled in the back of the net. Similar there for Trapani. As I mentioned, Eben, Trapani's been generating a ton of rebounds. We knew that it was going to be a garbage goal that might happen as a result of those rebounds. That's exactly what happened. Rathbone putting the first shot on. Save made Trapani, but as I said, he got his mulligan, took another shot, scored. Just a great play by Nat Rathbone, who has 2 goals this week now. Here's Charlie Bowles. And that'll do it for our first period of action. Very
eventful first period.
Yeah, that was a fun.
Lots going on in the first period today.
Fun period of hockey, and that is the nature of Class B South. PLOG theoretically should be the betting favorites. They are number 3 in B South. Brunswick is number 6. Brunswick's 3 and 5. PLOG is 6-3 and 1. But any team in B South can beat any other team. I would actually consider this PLOG team to be the best team that I've seen in Class B. But I still know the Dragons can beat them. They proved it in that first game with it being tied at 4 late in the third period. And they've proved it now. It's 2-2 after 1. Goals by Carter Copeland and Nat Rathbone for the Dragons, and Hobie Duffy and Nathan Karkos for the Kings. We thank you for joining us here on Brunswick High Sports Network. Brandon Ware on the camera, Eben White and Robert Bowen on the microphone. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Norway Savings Bank Arena in Auburn, Maine, as the Brunswick Freeport Dragons take on the Kings of Poland, Leavitt, Oak Hill, and Grey New Gloucester. A very eventful first period of action, 2 goals by either team. I believe it was the same exact order as the first time these two teams played, which was a Brunswick goal to start, and then 2 straight by PLOG by Hobie Duffy and Nathan Karkos, and then the game tire by Nat Rathbone on a breakaway. He put a backhand on Reed Trapani, who saved it, and then Rathbone collected his own rebound and buried it to tie the game at 2. That first goal was by Carter Copeland, a one-time slap shot off the assist from Theo Lyons. And that is how we find our way here back to a 0-0 hockey game.
Yeah, basically starting with all the same stats. I mean, both teams have 7 goals, or 7 shots, 2 goals, excuse me. So, not a lot. I don't think either team has been in the box yet today either. So,
One penalty,
0-0.
One penalty by Tyler Landry.
Oh, this is true.
But that's a great point. Both teams 7 shots on goal in the first period, which is not a ton. So very interesting, pretty much, as you said, an even first period of hockey. That one gloved by Shoemaker off the shot by Tyler Mates. Once again, I've said it a few times now, 16 in white is the man to watch. He scored 3, some would say 4 goals against Brunswick last time. Some say he tipped that one, that Mishu shot. I'm not in that camp, so I'm going to say he scored 3. But still, he's nasty. All three of those goals were assisted by number 8 in white, Jackson Booker. So that is the dynamic duo taking over for Brody Amond and Breck Langevin, both seniors last year for PLOG, who would always assist each other's goals as well. Here's Palmer. He'll be hit. Knocks it up the ice, but it's stopped by Ormberg. Bowles will go D to D to Mishu. Mishu back to Bowles. He will look up the ice. Patterson knocks it back down. Mishu collects in the defensive zone. Mishu up ice. Lombardi couldn't handle it. Dorsey kicks it ahead. Tries to get around the official and does. And a chance here for Palmer, who is hit from behind by Lombardi. Lombardi, nice move, and a chance for Ormberg. Tries to get around Patterson. Ormberg will backhand it towards the net and wide. Patterson will collect and look to break out. Backhands it off the glass. Settled by Austin across to Karkos, who fans on the pass back to Austin. Now he does get it across. Austin looking up the ice. Dorsey will pick it off. Dorsey centers it. Picked off by Ormberg, who will try to clear it. It hits a awkward side of the board there. I'm not sure how it took that bounce. Patterson will put that one on net. Save Trapani, who, as we've been saying, Eben has been generating a ton of rebounds. And a chance here for Lyons, gives it back to Copeland. That's the connection that scored the Dragons' first goal.
Yeah, they're looking to find another one here.
And they will stay out there. The Dragons skating their 3 lines of forwards evenly tonight. Bit different than usual. Usually they'll go something like 1-2, 1-2-3. But it's been a pretty set in stone 1-2-3, 1-2-3 tonight. Here's a shot blocked from Boba. Just 2 defensive pairings, though, for the Dragons tonight. We have not seen Sam Jansen and Drew Wilson yet. Here's Mishu. Into the zone comes Dupile, gets around the linesman. Tries to get around Sampson as well. Centering pass with his backhand. Aldrich couldn't handle it. And breaking out there is Copeland. Can he get that on net to avoid the icing? Yes, he does. A backhand from about 180 feet away gets on net. First time we've seen Peter Lacombe on the ice for PLOG, I believe. At least the first time I've said his name. And here is Lacombe settling in the neutral zone. Up ice, goes through the legs of Jackson Booker. First line of forwards back out for the Kings, as here is Mates. Tyler Mates will spin, centers for Booker. Booker in the slot. Couldn't get the clean shot off. Landry, though, behind the net. Will rim it around to Mates. Mates will give it back up and open. And here's a shot by Austin. Blocked. Rebound. Score. Hunter Landry gives PLOG back the lead.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a great shot block from big defender. I believe that was Avery Sampson to get in the way of that one, but unfortunate rebound, and they put it in. So
yeah, talk about garbage goals. You get the rebound, collect right in front of the net, put it in the back of the net with Shoemaker out of position. That's just a great job by Landry. I do love to do that a lot in lacrosse, Eben.
Yes, this is true. Robert does like the garbage goals in lacrosse. I also think that we've seen, of the 5 goals, I'm pretty sure 3 or 4 of them have all been off the rebound today. So it'll be interesting to see how many more rebound goals we see throughout the course of the game.
Kittinger will collect in the defensive zone. Landry has Mates waiting for a one-timer. Puck never got there, but here's Ned Boak into the zone. He will put it just wide of the net. Boak falling there along with Austin. Austin lost his glove. Patterson stops that with his skate, and he'll rocket that one over the net. Hits the glass over Trapani's net. Rathbone, Salco, and Kittinger back out there for Brunswick Freeport. Patterson knocks it back in. Salco has to clear the zone to avoid the offside, but a chance for Rathbone maybe. Couldn't settle the puck. Patterson lofts it back in. Rathbone puts pressure on. Can Salco keep it in the zone? No, but Patterson can. And that'll be knocked off the boards. The ref says that Patterson deflected it, so no icing. Mates a great job to wall off Bobuff, and they'll cut back on Bobuff as well. Toe drags on Patterson, and Bobuff's going to go to the box for a cross check, and Mates is back. Tyler Mates with some incredibly fancy dangling, and Bobuff just said, no, you're not going to be clipping us, so I will be cross checking you in the back, and we'll get to see the Kings power play once again.
Yeah, some sweet moves there. Ethan Patterson hit the ice. That was a little unfortunate. I think it looked like he lost his footing a little bit, but now we'll see the Brunswick man down again here. Penalty kill.
Yeah, they are 1 for 1 tonight.
So we got Matt and Sucker in again. Maybe not. Nope.
Up top, here's Karkos, who just scored the goal for PLOG. He'll fire over the net. Rebound will be collected by Fian Jr. That's his first time on the ice tonight. That Booker and Mates line, Booker-Mates-Landry line was just on the ice during that penalty, so they are not on for the PLOG first power play. Karkos will spin around on Dorsey looking up the ice, caught by Fian Jr. Fian Jr. leaves it up for Lombardi. Back to Fian Jr. He'll fire, gloved by Shoemaker. 1 minute and 18 seconds to go on Bobuff's penalty. Levi Bobuff, before this week, had only 1 penalty on the season, but then had 2 against Gardner-Winslow and records another one tonight. He is all over the stat sheet, as he also had the assist on that Rathbone's goal. Saved here by Shoemaker. Rathbone will try to knock that puck away from Mates, but cannot. Thank you so much, Dave Salco, for the fries with the cheese. That is just amazing. Huge shout out to the whole Salco family. Of course, James Salco, the senior assistant captain for the Dragons. Mates leaves it back for Mishu. Booker Patterson will rocket that one up the ice. That's good stuff, Eben.
Spectacular. Again, another shout out to the Salco family.
Trapani will settle it behind his net, and here is James Salco putting pressure on the puck with Mishu. Mishu will win it back. Salco will have to get back to settle into the penalty kill. As I mentioned, one of the Dragons' top penalty killers. Here's Mishu trying to get around Patterson. Patterson steals the puck. Will kick it to himself and loft it up the ice. It is stopped. Patterson, a shorthanded attempt as he wrestles through Mishu. Patterson, shot save made by Trapani. And that's going to be a hooking penalty that Patterson drew. So an and one, I guess without the initial score, but draws the penalty And the Dragon penalty kill is now 2 for 2, Eben. And we get to see their power play.
That's great. We would have really liked to see that one fall for Ethan there, but we'll take the penalty and take some extra time on the man up here, which is great.
It'll be 1 second of 4-on-4, and then the door is already open for Bobuff, who will enter the ice, and the Dragons will now have their first power play of the night. Shoemaker leads it back for Sampson. Dragon power play has not been amazing this year. Now we'll try to pull up how they've done. 3 for 21 on the season. Not sure what that is as a percent. Eben, off the top of your head, what's 3 for 21? That's about, will be about times 5.
1.5
so.
for 10, so, oh gosh.
Yeah, let's say, should be about 16%, maybe 14%.
Yeah, something like that. Just not quite as remarkable as the penalty kill has been, for sure. Quite the difference between that so far this season.
We have yet to get a quality scoring chance here in the power play. Up ice caught by Dorsey, could not quite handle it. Austin takes over for PLOG. Nice move on Dorsey. Austin looking up the ice, and he will clear it. Puck bounces right to Shoemaker. Awkward bounce off the boards once again. Boak off the boards will chase to Kittinger. How is that not an offside? I'm not quite sure, but do trust our officials. That is what the PLOG parents were asking for as well. Shot over the net. Charlie Bowles will go to work with the forecheck to kill more time, but Bowditch wins the puck back for Brunswick. Maybe one last chance on the power play for Rathbone. He will kick it back to Bowditch. Bowditch into the zone. He has Kittinger to his left. Couldn't get the puck there. And it's turned back over. A shorthanded attempt for Bowles is knocked into the rafters by Sampson. Mates will lose the draw. Patterson collects, and that will release Jackson Booker for his hooking minor. Back to 5-on-5 play, but a chance for Kittinger, maybe. Rathbone, that would have been an offside, but PLOG gets possession back. Rathbone, though, into the slot. He will fire. Misses wide left. Patterson absorbs the hit and knocks down Lacombe in the process. Is that going to draw a penalty? Is that elbowing? Is that head contact? Is that going to be on Lacombe? Yes, head contact. Minor on 12 in white Peter Lacombe. Hey, not a bad call out there. Head contact, not a very common minor penalty term that might only exist in the MPA or the NFHS.
Yeah, Brunswick man up, getting another look at it real quick here. That did not take long. Hopefully they can bury one this time, make the most of it.
Yeah, they really did not get a good look to score at all in the first power play, but they get another one right away, as you said, Eben, off the head contact minor by Peter Lacombe. Kittinger will center it looking for Salco. Patterson. That one will bound through, a save made by Trapani. Rathbone will take this draw up against Jackson Booker. And he wins it. Kittinger back to Patterson. Booker will not be able to get it, as Patterson did a great job to knock it back into the zone, but now it will be cleared. Stops Shoemaker. Shoemaker drops his stick and is able to knock it up ice to Patterson. Here's a chance the other way. Patterson gives to Kittinger. The Dragons have numbers. Kittinger is mauled from behind by Hunter Landry and takes a hard collision into the boards at the other end. Bobuff collects. Up ice, it's deflected. Kittinger will settle. He has Bodic cutting into the zone. Kittinger will give it to Bodic. Backhand just wide. A nice chance for the Dragons. Here's a rocket wide of the net by guess who? Ethan Howitzer Patterson. Rathbone in the neutral zone. Will give it across to his fellow senior. Kittinger leaves it off for Patterson. He has Bodic open in the middle. Can't get it to him. Deflected by Booker, and Patterson with a big hit on Booker. That one stopped. Kittinger open. He will fire it wide. Patterson trying to jam it in on Trapani. Cannot. Shots on goal tied at 11. I don't believe that shots on goal counter is very accurate, but it does still paint a picture of this game. Sam Jansen on the ice for the first time. Once again, last time the Dragons played PLOG, Sam Jansen came onto the ice and 3 seconds into his first ever varsity ice time scored a goal. So maybe in 3 seconds will he score here? 3, 2, 1. No, but maybe a chance for someone else. Maybe Sam Jansen. No, he will collect in the neutral zone. He will fan on that pass. Maybe not as great in the first 3 seconds this time, but now Jansen will collect. Sampson puts a big hit on Aldrich. Up ice here with Palmer. He will give it up to Dorsey. Dorsey with Bodic entering the zone. Evan Dorsey will fire. Save made for Trapani. Generates the rebound, but will freeze it this time. Dragons do still have the power play. Dorsey versus Ornberg on the faceoff. Dorsey wins it back to Palmer. Palmer will knock it towards Dorsey in the slot. Palmer couldn't collect it. Boak will settle in the neutral zone, and that'll do it for the Dragon power play. Both teams now are 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Shoemaker comes out to give it to Dorsey. Dorsey, one touch up ice. It's picked off by Ornberg. Bodic now looking up ice for Palmer. Can he catch it off his own pass? Yes, here's Palmer entering the zone, gives up to Dorsey. Dorsey will fire. Save made for Trapani, rebound. Boak is knocked down, a chance for Bodic. Bodic backhands it blindly, and now Ornberg is lying on top of Ned Boak. No call there. Boak gets up and collects the puck. Boak will survey. Centering pass. Boak's knocked into the boards.
Knocked hard into the boards, yeah.
What'd you see there, Eben?
It looked like what's this?
Colin Ornberg.
Ornberg was just sitting on Ned Boak, just on his back, and as soon as Ned got up, he must have said something, because then Ned got lit up into the boards there. Who knows? We'll have to ask Ned after the game.
Yes, we will. Duffy gives it back to Austin. Karkos collects for PLOG. Lombardi racing for it, but Sampson gives it up. And a big collision there as Lombardi hits the deck. Palmer across, caught by Bodic. High slot. He will cut back on Ornberg. Bodic surveys, makes the toe drag, centering for Palmer. Backhand, and now Dorsey will collect in the corner. Dorsey fires towards the net. Karkos will knock it up the ice and clear it for the icing. The Dragons will get the offensive zone faceoff. Face-off one back to Patterson. He will fire. It's blocked by Landry, and he collects the other way. Patterson gets back on defense, but Mates is open in the middle. No, he wasn't, because Levi Bobuff was there. The nice play by Bobuff to shut down that 2-on-1. Patterson rips it around to Bobuff. Copeland gives it back to Bobuff. Mates collects for PLOG, centering pass to Mishu. He will rocket it towards the boards. Booker turns around and misses wide right of the net. Patterson battling along the boards.
Patterson down.
Chance for Mates in the slot. Will unselfishly find Booker, but couldn't get the clean shot off. Mates in the corner. He'll give it up to Mishu below the blue line. Back to Mates. Mates will fire inside, trying to get a chance with Leighton Mishu. Mishu, I believe, is filling in for Hunter Landry on that first line. Landry getting a breather after that rush. Patterson with the hit. Mishu keeps it in the zone. Back down to Mates. Mates surveys. Will find Booker in the center. Fire save made by Michael Shoemaker.
Good save there for Michael. Lots of puck possession there for PLOG, but this gives Brunswick a chance to change, get some fresh legs on defense. It's good for us.
Shot, score. PLOG takes a 2-goal lead. It was Mason Aldrich going bar down, and that'll be 2 straight for the Kings. Just opening the slot right off the faceoff. That's a tough save for Shoemaker as he was beat blocker side. Just a great shot there by 36 in white. Entering the zone now is Fian Jr. He'll fire from the high slot, blocked by Sam Jansen. Jansen puts the hit along the boards, and Rathbone collects for the Dragons. Fian Jr. knocks it back around. Aldrich knocks it back around. Jansen racing for it. One last chance for PLOG here as the period expires. Jansen will just try to pin the puck against the boards. And now Rathbone will collect as the period ends. Mason Aldrich puts the Kings up by 2. And after a very even first period of action, PLOG definitely won that second period.
Yeah, Brunswick just didn't look to be playing with the same energy and aggression they were holding through the whole first period. The second period, they looked a little more flat, and they didn't have quite as many offensive opportunities, which is why you see PLOG with 2 more goals and Brunswick with nothing else. So
I would agree with that. Thank you for joining us here on Brunswick High Sports Network. Eben White and Robert Bowen on the microphone. Eben White is also running our scoreboard, sponsored by Singer Domingos Portside Real Estate. Brandon Ware on the camera. And once again, I guess not once again, this is the first time I've said this. Tomorrow night is our next live stream as the Brunswick girls ice hockey team will travel to Falmouth to play against Greeley Grey New Gloucester. And then on Friday, the boys basketball team of Brunswick travels up to Camden Hills to play against the #1 ranked Windjammers, led by the Colby commit and #1 player in the state, Nolan Ames. That's #2 versus #1 in Class A North. That's at 7 o'clock on Friday. Ethan and Patterson and I will all be on the call. Should be just a fantastic game. Really hope every single person tunes in for that. That'll be Friday at 7. We thank you for joining us here. PLOG with 2 goals in the second period leads by 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Norway Savings Bank Arena in Auburn, Maine, for a matchup between the Brunswick Freeport Dragons and the Kings of Poland's Leavitt, Oak Hill, and Grey New Gloucester. After a very even, very fun to watch first period, we really did have a dominating period by PLOG in which they scored 2 goals to the Dragons' none, and that's how we are now here at 4-2. Those goals were by Hunter Landry off of it was Avery Sampson blocked a shot from the blue line, and then the puck just bounced right to Landry, who had an open net, put it in the back. That made it 3-2. And then it was Mason Aldrich, who, after the Kings won a face-off, he got it in the slot and just went bar down on Shoemaker. Those are the 2 goals in the second period. Now here we are in the third. 2 evenly matched teams, but just such a critical game for the Dragons if they can get this win. They had a 5-game losing streak and then had the big win over Gardner Winslow to end that streak on Monday. But playing neck and neck with the 3rd-ranked team in B South, this would be such a huge game to win if they could get a couple goals together and come back. Is this going to be an interference? It will be an interference. Is it on Rathbone or is it on Mishu, though? Because they were both hitting each other into the boards. So I don't know. I think it's on Mishu. I think you're right, Eben. And it will be. So we'll get our third look at the Dragon power play. Everett Mishu, the sophomore. I wish they wrote the schools that each of these guys were from, of course, coming from 4 schools. But our roster does not say that, so he's just a king. That's all we know. Dragon penalty kill is 0 for 2 on the night. And Booker will give it up ice to Mates, and a shorthanded opportunity for the Kings' leading scorer to shut down by Bobuff, but a chance for Booker to fire it over the net.
Just off the glove of Shoe there. Big save for him.
Collected by Nathan Karkos in the defensive zone. It's deflected by Mates. Sampson will fire. Save made by Trapani. Kittinger goes to work on the forecheck. Spin by Bowles. Lifted by Kittinger. Karkos tries to clear and does as the puck gets through Bobuff. Shoemaker comes out to give it back to Bobuff. Levi knocks it up ice. Collected by Booker. And already
Brunswick really needing to make something happen here.
I would completely agree. Obviously down by 2 goals here in the third. You don't know how many more power plays you're going to get. And it's obviously the best scoring chance you're going to get is when you have the extra skater. So they really have not gotten a good chance yet in this power play. Gotta hope that they'll be able to. Patterson maybe will do just that. Just below the blue line. He'll wait and give it down to Palmer. Palmer will center looking for Rathbone. Bowles gets the puck for the Kings. Now Booker will try to clear. Fans on it. Salco's got it along the wing. Cuts back. Rathbone will bank it. Sampson across. It exits the zone. The Dragons have to reset in the neutral zone. Sampson up ice for Palmer. Palmer's got it. Will cut back and get knocked down into the boards by Nathan Karkos, and Palmer is still down. And oh my goodness, Nathan Karkos, who knocked Evan Dorsey out of the last game, has now injured Jamison Palmer as he threw him into the boards. I would have to imagine that, you know, out of all the people that I would not want to be on the ice right now, the next time that he goes out, Nathan Karkos is probably the person I would least want to be. I would definitely watch out for that.
That's 2 games in a row and 2 Brunswick players down by the same person. I imagine Brunswick's going to have a bit of a bounty on him for the rest of the game here.
I'll have to ask my dad later about this. There is this linebacker who played for the Ravens. I think it was the Chiefs and later the Ravens. And he both tore Tom Brady's ACL and later broke Rob Gronkowski's arm. I think it was the same guy who delivered both of those hits. Nathan Karkos, maybe not the same level as Evan Dorsey did not actually miss a game from that hit, but It's interesting. They called that guy the Patriot Killer. I don't remember his name. Nathan Karkos starting to build a reputation, I will say.
Yeah. I don't know what a good nickname would be. Brunswick Killer sounds just a little...
It's a little
not
much.
Right, yeah.
It's a little much. Palmer did skate off under his own power. Good to see. Hopefully we'll see him back.
He's joining the boys on the bench again here without seeing the trainer, so looks like he'll be all right.
Was it Mo Lewis? Eben, can you just look up Patriot Killer? Thank you. Dorsey in the neutral zone. Oh, Bernard Pollard.
Yep.
Yeah. Boak absorbs the hard hit.
Big hit there on both.
Boak has it blocked, and a chance here, a 3-on-1 with just Patterson waiting in the slot. Ormberg will cut back. Shoemaker lost his stick as well. Patterson gets hit once again by Lombardi. Shoemaker is able to get his stick back, and Patterson will knock down Lombardi, and that's going to be a penalty on Patterson. It's a cross-check. Eben, all sports are in need of officials. If you want to become an official, contact the MPA today. Officiating is a very tough job, and I stand with all of our officials. I don't know about that one. It looks like Lombardi's already falling. It's a pretty normal hit, I think.
Yeah. It's difficult. They weren't on the puck. It wasn't at their feet, so I guess I could see the call, but I do think he was already falling over.
But no matter how you slice it, it is another power play for the Kings, who are 0 for 2 on the night. Landry is hit by Bobuff. Bulls lays it up for Mishu below the blue line. Mishu fires deflected by Rathbone. Bulls cuts back. Leaves it off for Mates. Here's a rocket over the net by Hunter Landry. Mishu along the wing. Gives it back to Mates. Mates working on Rathbone. He'll fire. Centering save made by the leg pad of Shoemaker. And Shoemaker may have tripped up Booker there. Landry behind the net spins around the official and Sampson. Here's Mates open. You don't want to leave that man open. That shot over the net. Mates has yet to score today. Copeland racing after it. Maybe a shorthanded chance.
That's Kittinger.
Oh, that is Kittinger. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah.
5 and 6, both freshmen. Copeland is a righty, though, and Kittinger's a lefty, so should be able to tell by that.
Although, from this far away, the numbers, when the jerseys get bunched up, it is slightly difficult to tell who's who out there. But
Karkos back onto the ice for the first time. Here's a shot. Mates had that whole side of the net open, but it was blocked, I believe, by Ned Boak. Boak's been playing great hockey. Boak will hand pass it up to himself, but it's stolen by Mishu. Mishu into the zone. It will be an offside. Or, no, an interference.
I believe it'll be interference.
Tyler Mates hitting Kittinger, and that will do it for the Patterson penalty. He will stay in the box. It'll be a 4-on-4 for 15 seconds, but the Kings power play is now 0 for 3, and their leading goal scorer is in the sin bin. And this 4-on-4 for 15 seconds, and then a minute 45 of power play. The Dragons just have to score. Trailing by 2 here. They're going to have the man advantage very soon. But here's Bowles the other way. Aldrich picks up the puck. He's got Sampson in front of him. Nice poke check by the captain. Aldrich leaves it back for Karkos, and that will release Ethan Patterson onto the ice, and the Dragons have their 4th power play. Sampson stops it. Maybe looking up the ice for Salko, and he does. Too far. Karkos did not touch it, but I guess the official says he did. Karkos has it blocked by the shin of Sampson. Sampson can get there before Dupile does. Dupile will carry into the zone. Rathbone will collect. Knocks it to himself, but he is instead hit by Aldrich in the process. Patterson trying to get through Aldrich. That's going to be a slash on Mason Aldrich, and the Dragons are going to have a 5-on-3. I believe. Slash, oh, no. Slash on Rathbone. Okay. Because the Dragons had the puck, I just didn't really know how it could have been against them, so I just jumped to the conclusion that it would be the 5-on-3. I don't know where the Rathbone slash happened, Eben, I gotta be honest. Patterson had the puck, so I don't know how they could have waited until PLOG touched it to blow the whistle. Do you see what I mean? They have the... Where could the Rathbone slash have happened?
He seems to be off the puck, so I don't really know.
It must have happened off screen, I guess. That's my one explanation. But we're back to 4-on-4, and the Dragons are now 0-for-4 on the power play on the night.
Actually, Brunswick will be man down here for about a minute. So
Patterson will spin and collect. And here he goes. Will rim it around the back wall. Dorsey will settle, give it back to his captain. Patterson, that puck exits the zone with Bobuff. Will backhand it. Dorsey will clap down on that pass attempt. Patterson gives it back to him. Dorsey has it stolen by Duffy. Patterson goes for the hit on Duffy. And now here's Bobuff, and that will release Tyler Mates, and PLOG goes on the power play for the 4th time. They have 50 seconds to work with there. Save made by Shoemaker. Patterson will loft it 200 feet. Trapani forgot about the penalty kill and believed that it would be an icing. Nathan Karkos will give the puck to Mishu, who puts it on his own net.
Dangerously close to an own goal there for Mishu, but...
Eben, do you remember when we played Messalonski in the playoffs freshman year and they scored an own goal?
I do believe I remember that. I think it was a ground ball right in front of the crease and it got knocked in, right?
I think that the Messalonski close defender tried to pass back to his goalie and the goalie just missed it and it went in.
Your memory's probably better than mine.
I've yet to find... We did not have a video of that game, but yeah, that was pretty amazing. Rathbone has to stay in the box for 1 second due to the offside. Palmer now on with Copeland for 1 second on the penalty kill. And this will make it 0-for-4 on the night for both teams on the power play. Just a good night. If you are a penalty kill enthusiast, this has been a great night. I know I am. Duffy. Shot save by Shoemaker and some extracurricular activities with Sampson and Colin Ormberg. Again, I do not think that shots on goal counter is correct, but 15-15 is what it claims.
I think that's a little inaccurate. I think we've seen quite a few more shots than that today.
I would agree. That puck is lofted by Boak right near Dennis Hagman along the Dragon bench. Did the Dragons only have one coach tonight?
There is only one coach with us here tonight. Seems both assistants couldn't make it. Whereas, if you look at the PLOG bench, they have about six coaches.
Over there. Wow.
So,
Boak tries to clear. I do hope that means that Michael Meisner is watching the live stream. Huge shout out to Mr. Meisner. I believe that the reason Kaz is not at this game, Mr. Meisner, is because he is studying for his A-Push exam.
Yeah. Shout out Mr. Meisner. A-Push is a great class. It is unfortunate that he couldn't make it here tonight, though.
Here's a shot gloved by Shoemaker. I don't quite remember the A-Push midterm.
I don't remember much about it. I do remember everybody frantically studying.
Yeah.
Yeah. As, you know, U.S. history, there's a lot to cover, so.
It is. Sorry, guys, that we were using that slang. A-push is slang for AP US history.
Yeah.
One of the many classes that Michael Meisner, the assistant for the Dragons, teaches at Brunswick High School.
It's a favorite amongst many students during their junior year of high school, so.
Trying to keep the puck out of the net as it was alive for a while in the crease. No call. The PLOG faithful wanted some type of holding penalty. Kittinger up ice.
Yeah. PLOG parents really letting the refs hear it for that one. Don't really know what they wanted there. Probably a hold of some kind, but unrelenting.
Bodic cannot keep it in the zone, so Kittinger will have to exit. Patterson knocks it around. Trapani comes out and leaves it for Mishu. Mishu stolen by Bodic. Bodic will skate around by Salko, pressured by Aldrich. One touch left off for Nat Rathbone. He's got Karkos in front of him, and Karkos will drive him right into the PLOG bench. Nathan Karkos, does that name ring? I don't think I recognize that name.
No, I don't think we've heard his name yet tonight. This must be his first time on the ice or something.
Yeah, I think so. Karkos will cut back on Salko. Landry into the zone. He'll fire. Save made by Shoemaker. Shot over the net. I don't want to be too hard on Karkos. I believe I was told that after the hit on Dorsey, Karkos was very remorseful and was concerned about the health of Dorsey. I do remember that happened.
I think I heard that as well, that after the big hit, he did apologize and check in a couple times just to make sure, which is, just the right thing to do,
So Nathan seems to be a very stand-up guy, but we're still probably going to make fun of him due to the amount of big hits that he's had on our boys. But stand-up guy Nathan Karkos. Here's Mates, sorry. Patterson will try to steal the puck back.
Patterson hitting that face there, no call.
Yeah, and now he's lying on top of Mates' stick. Mates wanted a call because of that. Save made by Shoemaker. You just got to hope that Patterson's going to be okay. Karkos skates off. Patterson hobbling towards the puck.
Yeah, it looked like they got Patterson right under the face mask. His helmet was tilted back a little bit. I hope he's all right. He's moving on the ice now, but
he's going to go right after
He's going right after him, so looks like he's all right. Probably just a little frustrated.
Shoemaker freezes at some extracurricular activities once again. That's my second time using that quote from Jack Edwards. And it was, I believe, Booker involved that time. I think the scuffle was with Jamison Palmer. And will they get him for... Oh, they're going to get...
Looks like they're
getting Palmer. No matching penalty for Booker, but... Oh, no. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there goes Booker. That's what I thought. I was thinking, I think they're going to get both of them. And they do.
We're finishing most of this game out here 4-on-4. Brunswick really needs to make something
It'll
happen.
still be 5-on-5 because they're matching. But
oh, you're right. At the same time. Apologies.
All good. But that's Booker's second penalty.
Brunswick does need to make something happen sooner rather than later. We're running low on time here for our boys.
I would tend to agree. Face-off won by PLOG. Shot blocked. Shoemaker gets up off the ground. Centering pass. Shoemaker's on his back. And, wow. That puck did not wind up in the back of the net. Shoemaker was completely turned around. Copeland puts pressure on. Definitely some more aggressive Dragon defense trying to get the puck back to score a couple goals here. Mishu knocks it around. Here's Ornberg centering. And Rathbone gets the turnover for the Dragons. 2:20 to work with. Rathbone gets around Lacombe. He is hit and driven backwards by Ornberg. Lombardi looks to clear. Leaves it up for Duffy. Hobie Duffy into the zone. He'll cut back, fire, blocker saved by Shoemaker. The puck goes straight up in the air. Sampson with the hit on Lombardi to allow Copeland to send it up the ice. Lacombe once again, D-to-D pass to Mishu.
Bit of a long shift here for Carter, but good to see that he's still able to grind this late in the game.
Now he will skate off. Landry enters. Karkos towards Patterson. He'll stop it. Patterson rockets blocked by Dupile. Patterson trying to do it all himself, going from defense to offensive pressure. Boak knocking up the ice.
Patterson trying really hard here to make something happen for the boys here with only a minute left. Down 2. It's not looking too great.
Dorsey rockets to Bodic, couldn't handle it. And Shoemaker will get pulled, and the Dragons will have a 6th skater on, a 6-on-5 with the empty net. Copeland right back on the ice now. Dorsey racing for its Landry with the open net in front of him. Can't get the shot off. Dorsey and Landry both fall down. And there will be Sampson who falls into the net. Of course, his brother is a goalie. Karkos fans on that shot. Copeland puts pressure on him. Just 30 seconds left now. Up ice, Bodic off his stick. Copeland up ice. Stolen. Will Mates put it in on the empty net? No. Sampson will try to clear. Patterson backhands toward Copeland. Copeland entering the zone. Landry with 6 seconds left to work with. Rathbone will try one last time, but that will do it. From Norway Savings Bank Arena. The Dragons played a pretty great first period. They scored they scored the first goal by Copeland, then it was 2 goals by PLOG, and then scored that goal by Rathbone. Really looked like a great first period of hockey, but PLOG really does pull away with 2 goals in the second period and then a scoreless third period between the two teams. For a 4-2 victory, they advance to 7-3-1. The Dragons fall to 3-6.
Yeah, it seemed like Brunswick lost a bit of their fire coming out of the break between the first and second period, and PLOG really took it to them in the second period, and it was good to see Brunswick battle back in the third, but we just didn't bring enough there to claw our way back in, unfortunately.
Let's go ahead and award our 3 stars here, Eben. My first one, I'm going to go ahead and give 2. I don't think a single person had multiple points tonight, and that's usually who I go to first, so. Still thinking here.
I believe I have mine if you want me to.
Yeah, you can go first, Evan.
I think I want to award my first star to Ned Boak.
Okay.
In the first period, he came out with a fire, and he played with an aggression I haven't seen from him yet this season, and that was great to see. I hope that he can keep that energy throughout the rest of the season here.
I'll give my second star to Carter Copeland, who did have a great game, scored that opening goal off the assist by Theo Lyons, and definitely played with a ton of energy the rest of the game. For the third star, I guess we probably should give it to the team who did win the game. Again, nobody for them had multiple points, though, Eben, so I
hate to do it, but I think maybe Karkos has to get it.
He had the goal.
He had the great goal, and he just played everywhere today. He was all over the ice, and he really took it to Brunswick today. So, unfortunately, I think he wins that third star today.
Yeah, no points for either of the dynamic duo that I hyped up of Jackson Booker and Tyler Mates. They did not score any points. They were my first and second stars of that last PLOG game. And, Ned Boak also got the star during that last PLOG game as well. So Boak plays his best against the Kings.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that Ned Boak got a star last time they played PLOG, but.
Well, we thank you all for joining us here on Brunswick High Sports Network. We'll be back tomorrow night for girls hockey at, I actually don't know what time that starts, but I know that you guys can check Bewick Sportsnet on Instagram to to find out the time, or go on the MPA website yourself. You can also do that yourself if you want to.
But drop a follow on the VHSN socials, of course.
Eben White running our scoreboard, sponsored by Singer Domingo's Portside Real Estate, as well as being on the microphone with myself, Robert Bowen, Brandon Ware on the camera. PLOG wins 4-2.